Since 1972, visitors to my parents' house, as they were coming in or leaving in the passageway there, and would look at these plates that were on the wall, and they would hear the story of how they came to be here. And that happened when we migrated here in 1956. We lived in a so-called working class neighborhood of Gouda in the Netherlands, and our neighbors nearby owned a ceramics factory in a village or a town called Gouderak near Gouda. In 1953, my parents went to a meeting or event, and I was being minded by my grandparents. So when my parents came home, they noticed that the weather was terrible. The neighbour's future son-in-law was there too, and my father and he agreed that it mightn't be a bad idea if they got their bikes and rode to the ceramics factory, just to check and make sure that everything was all right. When they got to the factory, which was just below the dike there was water trickling over the dike already. And although it never did go flood Gouda, it was starting to come over the dike towards the ceramics factory on the other side. So my father and the young fellow went into the factory, collected a whole lot of bricks, and put the bricks through the middle of the factory to just to guide the water through, which worked for a little while. And then suddenly there was this huge bang, and all the machinery and everything that was there was swept through the factory and out the back door of the back gate or whatever it was. My father and the young fellow had to climb onto the roof to escape, and over the houses next door to get away. As they were going through the houses next door, they met up with this woman who was sitting there cradling her baby. And my father said, "What are you doing? Go! The water's rising, we're going to drown." And the woman's saying, "But what about my furniture, my lovely furniture?" And my father is so often been quoted as saying, "Never mind about your furniture, save the baby, save yourself." And she did. And they did get away, and they got safely back to Gouda. So 3 years later, when we migrated, these people who had since moved out of our street actually, out of gratitude for the attempt that my father had made to try and save the factory, came along with this crate of ceramics, which in more recent time I've realized is now quite valuable, which is a pity that it's a shame that I've realized it so late, because the vase has been in all sorts of strange places. One of its spots was beside the fridge on the floor in the kitchen. It's been all over the place. And I had a habit of making pizzas, so-called healthy pizzas. And the best place to put it once it was finished and done and ready to eat was on this particular plate, which also came with the other goodies. It says, it's got a number, 2032, and it says Flora, Keramiek, Gouda, Holland, Rosalie.